I've professed my love for the Summer Olympics for over quite a few videos now because, yeah, track and field, the most purest form of sport, is very entertaining, at least for me to watch, okay? It's just the most primal, the most mano-a-mano competition you can possibly see witnessed, and then especially at the highest level, it really is something to behold. But I haven't tuned in for a goddamn second, even though it's been going live for, a few days at this point. I think opening ceremonies were late in the day, Friday over here, if not Saturday morning. Like I said, I don't know. I don't really care. All I'm seeing is a bunch of hilarious results off the back of this, like we also talked about at the end of last week. The preliminary results from the women's soccer team, losing 3-1 to Sweden, but then they ended up bouncing back, and they did pick up a victory once the chips were down. Unlike the men's basketball team, which is, a whole host of very talented NBA players that really have no direction, really just can't be leaders themselves, so they're blaming everybody but themselves. And it's just another reason why I will not be tuning in for any of this fucking garbage. And then you got ESPN reporter triggered by the United States flag. I wonder if it's that same journalist that was out there talking about seeing an American flag on the New Jersey Turnpike, and then that just made them cower in fear. Well, this person, I can't keep thinking back on the Capitol riots. Fuck's sakes. You know where you won't see any American flags? Syria. I would suggest a flight over there. They'll be ready, willing, and able to be taking you in if you get triggered by the American flag. Oh, it's a man. Woke ESPN reporter noted Monday that he was triggered by seeing the United States flag at the Olympics, and it left him thinking back on the Capitol riots. During a stint on CBS this morning, ESPN's Bill Rhoden, up his ass, opined about how America needs to be humbled on the international scene. What a dick. Imagine that, okay? Going over from an American outlet, okay? This is the one opportunity when journalists have the opportunity to be partisans. You're supposed to be rooting for your home team. But not this guy. He's actively undermining them, saying that they need to be humbled. And it's not even for the reason that I would appreciate. Like all of these wokesters, all of these virtue signalers that are out there. Yes, there's probably an overwhelming majority of the athletes that are there that just want to represent the Stars and Stripes because they actually believe in the founding principles of the country that made it great to begin with. But then there are some activists out there, and we'll get to her shortly. Oh, but here's what else Dickhead had to say. Still, he hit an upbeat note saying, I love the opening ceremonies, March of Countries. I like the shiny lights in the sky with the fireworks and the flags, except for the American one. That one's bad. Fuck off. But then came the trigger. Then I realized, man, particularly after the last 4 years, I had it wrong. Nationalism is not good. Fucking Christ, dude. Put these weak cocksuckers back in the fucking 40s and let's see them flounder. I'm so tired of these people, and they're fucking everywhere. And they seem to be multiplying. They aren't fucking each other, okay? Or at least if they are, they're creepy male feminists, and nobody's any the wiser until the woman wakes up and realizes that her bra strap's a bit askew. But these are the ones who continue to champion all these genetic dead-end relationships, who just keep fucking scraping out any trace of last night's hookup up to and including the 9-month mark. But now they've, reached a point of maturity where they all start to fill out the rank and file at every single outlet. That's why I only see just a handful of different sources that I like to pull from on major news sources, because the rest of them are just partisan shit, okay? Like, at least Breitbart, like, if they are garbage, I'll call them out for it, but they at least cite the original source. But whatever. Let's see what this 3/4 bitch had to say. We've seen the rise of white nationalism. Nationalism is not good. This motherfucker. White man bad. And also the whole idea, I keep thinking back to the Capitol riots, and I saw a lot of, U.S. flag. Drop one letter, and he's just describing what he sees every morning in the mirror. But as he opened his comments, and his asshole Rhoden insisted that the U.S. needs to be humbled. I break your back, I humble you, I fuck you in the ass. Iron Sheik, Twitter. Especially in light of the loss of the U.S. basketball team, I think we should be humbled, this whole last year in this country. It's about entitlement and privilege. Oh, really? Really? All of those people who lost the jobs because the tyrannical governments locked them out. Yeah. Entitlement and privilege. And all of those businesses that were forced to be closed, if they ended up having an opportunity to even open up after all the lockdowns, most of them were just burnt down or blown up because of all of that white nationalism that was taking to the streets. These fucking people. They either know that they're lying or they're so fucking delusional. I don't know. I can't even tell them apart at this point. I used to think it was ignorance, but now I'm starting to veer to the course where this is just all malice. Like, is this guy on the ground? Of course they should have canceled the Olympics, he said, adding. But our highest value now is money. He's a sports reporter. He works for ESPN, and he's talking about politics. Ugh! Everything is being driven by money, so they're telling fans and athletes roll the dice because we are going forward. There's no fans in the stands. There's no fans in the stands. Fans are sat at home having to watch most of this fucking drivel. They're having to see weak individuals represent the stars and stripes, okay? And like I said, the vast majority, great people. High-performance athletes. And then you got somebody who's supposed to be the face. I think she was the flag bearer for the Olympics. Simone Biles. You know her name. She's a gymnast. She's a very, very, very good gymnast. And then I heard that she was injured. We'll put that in scare quotes for a moment. And she had to pull out from the Olympics. And you know what? That sucks. It's up there with one of the athletes popping for the coof, not exhibiting any symptoms. They're just popped for it, so they're off the team. But then I heard that Simone Biles had to pull out from the event. She's injured. It's like, oh fuck, did she land funny? Well, she landed off of a vault and doubled over, and coaches came over to see what the fuck was up, and then she ended up exiting the exhibition. I was like, what the fuck happened? And then it was revealed that she was in fact injured. She was suffering from mental weakness. Her self-diagnosis. This is what you get. This is what you get when you wholeheartedly embrace victim culture. You are one of the most famous athletes, one of the most famous, I'll go ahead and use your guys' terminology for the time being, female athletes that are out there, okay? There are very few in a higher profile situation than Simone Biles. She was expected to take gold, okay? And then she fucked up, and then she withdrew at the cost of her teammates. She was supposed to be a part of the medley going forward, but now she won't be there. Is such a bitch-made move. American gymnast Simone Biles said she abruptly stopped competing during the women's gymnastics team final because she was dealing with mental problems. Like actual, like vertigo or some shit? Like mental problems that, you know, actually affect your physical performance? Nah, I just felt bad. Biles, speaking to reporters after the United States was beaten by Russia, said she just felt like it would be a little bit better to take a backseat to work on my mindfulness. You're at the Olympics! You're at the Olympics. You're paid. You're sponsored. You're set. Your life is set. All you have to do is perform, okay? This is apparently something that you were training for your entire fucking life, and then all of a sudden, once you are a part of a fucking team, you let everybody down because you just don't feel it that day. Give me a fucking break. Biles said she suffered no physical injury, despite Team USA saying earlier she was out due to a medical issue. It was just between her ears. That's why I took a step back. Listen to the verbiage here. That's why I took the step back, because I didn't want to do something silly out there and get injured. And she said calling the Olympics really stressful. No fucking shit. It's the pinnacle of athletic performance. We had to go out. Oh, we had a workout this morning. It went okay. And then just that 5.5 hour wait or something, I was just like shaking, could barely nap. Performance anxiety. Everybody fucking gets it. You've probably experienced it before. I've just never felt like this going into a competition before, and I tried to go out there and have fun and warm up in the back. Went a little bit better, but then once I came out here, I was like, no, mental is not there. So I just need to let the girls do it and focus on myself. Just the most selfish attitude I've ever seen from a quasi-professional athlete. She has sponsorships. She makes a lot of fucking money. And outside of like the men's basketball team, she probably has the highest profile. She's definitely for an individual athlete, without a doubt. Biles, 24, was replaced by Jordan Childs, and I hope she did great. They received a silver. And while the rest of the team performed admirably without their star being out there, managed to take home the silver. And because Little Miss Sob Story couldn't perform, she gets to stand up there on the podium and wave That is embarrassing. That right there just shows you the selfish attitude that is on display. Like, honestly, this is just a personal opinion, but I don't think there is a more embarrassing medal to get than silver. Like, especially if you got like a round robin tournament or something, like at least you got to win a game to get the bronze, but silver is just the first loser. And while it is an amazing achievement, without a doubt, you didn't do anything, Simone. You didn't do anything, but yet you're patting yourself on the back. And more appropriately, it's in an empty fucking stadium with just judges, with just your teammates, just knowing that they have such contempt for you, to not being able to sack up and be the leader that you said that you wanted to be. You wanted to be the face of the U.S. team, and guess what? You cracked under the pressure. And guess what? You made it all about yourself. And there you go. Now you got an entire video all about yourself. You won't see it. This is just emblematic of... Unfortunately, I got to pull out that old phrase of the kids these days. I'm only, 7 years older than her, but I feel so totally disconnected from my generation, the generation coming up, and probably the generation after that as well. I don't recognize the world that I'm in anymore. And that's not a downer. That's just what I see on a daily basis, and that's unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, if you like to see a man suffer, just what I bring to you guys every day. Don't worry about it, though. It's a hell of a lot of fun sometimes. With that said, I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.